number 4, Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all his statements in relation to the budget?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes, in the context they were given, I particularly stand by my statement that Budget 2015 will be delivered in the context of a strong and growing economy and improving government finance.
What did you say in 2014?
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Having failed to keep his promise to get the books into surplus this year, will he guarantee New Zealanders that he won't be breaking any other promises?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I think New Zealanders are smart enough to work out that this is a government that's picked up a hell of a mess from the previous Labor government, a disaster that they inherited, a pile of unfunded programs, and frankly, economic leadership that would be welcomed in Greece but actually isn't welcomed in New Zealand and has tidied the shop up.
Supplementary.
Order. 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 Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
In light of his back down on getting to surplus this year, when will he be honest with New Zealanders and give a real date on when he will finally post a surplus?
Order.
Speaker,
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
It's important to understand that the data which will be in the budget is like the data that's in the Highfield and all the others are put together by Treasury based on the best estimates they have. As I said to the House yesterday, interestingly enough, the revenue number for the Crown over the next 4 years is $15 billion lower than it would have been because of low inflation. That happens to be great for businesses and for consumers. Well, actually, I will take responsibility for the fact that the economy is growing. We've got the 5th highest employment rate in the OECD, that New Zealanders are flocking back to New Zealand, having left in droves under the previous Labor government.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Can he confirm that he also hasn't kept his promise to lift exports from 30% of GDP to 40%, and in fact exports have fallen back to just 29% of GDP?
Order. Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I am truly ambitious for New Zealand and for myself. But I never realised Andrew Little was so ambitious for me, because that's our 2025 target. So he's clearly expecting me to win quite a few elections between now and then.
You're going backwards.
Supplementary.
You're going backwards.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
So in light of the consistent slide in prices in recent global dairy auctions, when can New Zealanders expect him to finally keep his export promise?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I thought we traversed this in the House yesterday, but the government's not responsible for dairy prices. I know the opposition might want to blame us for that. It certainly didn't want to give us any credit for them when they were going up, but they do seem to want to criticise us when they're going down. But actually, Mr Speaker, here's a pretty simple test. We want to grow our exports. Let's sign up to the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We're in. Are you in?
Order.
So what's so good about it?
Order. Andrew Little, supplementary question.
Mr Speaker, having failed to keep his promises, when will he stop making excuses, front up and admit he's let New Zealanders down yet again?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, we're not making excuses. We're actually presenting the government's books, and actually if the member wants to look at any indicators from consumer confidence, business confidence, right indicator, wrong indicators, the election result, the exchange rate movements, all of those things are indicators that it's not me that's telling New Zealanders the country it's going well. It's actually New Zealanders that are indicating to pollsters and others that the country's going well. So give those New Zealanders credit. They know what they're talking about.
Question number 5,